I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll go over some administrative items first. The Planning Board voluntarily continues to offer remote participation. If any member of the Planning Board participates remotely, votes shall be by roll call. To attend this meeting remotely, using a computer or a smartphone, visit www.zoom.us in your browser or your Zoom app. Enter meeting ID 754-663-912. You may also call in by phone for audio only. Phone number is 646-558-8656. Same meeting ID 754-663-912. If you have technical difficulties getting into the meeting, please call 603-845-5585. If you're on the phone and you want to be recognized to speak, hit star 9 to raise your hand, and once recognized, hit star 6 to unmute yourself. At this point, I will introduce the members and staff who are present tonight. To my far right, alternate Mr. Mousy, alternate Mr. Appleton,
Good evening.
Planning Director Ms. Robidoux.
Good evening.
At the rear, we have our Planning Clerk, Ms. Wilson. We have our alternate Town Council Liaison, Mr. Mills.
Good evening.
Regular member, Mr. Wood.
Good evening.
Mr. Minervini.
Good evening.
Vice Chair, Mr. O'Connor.
Good evening.
To my far left is Mr. Reventure, who runs the DerryCAM and provides us with live coverage. Thank you.
Good evening.
Member, Mr. Fishman.
Hello, good evening.
Town Administrator Representative, Mr. Churchiello.
Good evening.
And Secretary, Mr. Malaby.
Hello.
I'm Dave Nelson, I'm the chair, and I noticed that we have a vacancy for Mr. Pelletier. Mr. Appleton, would you please sit for Mr. Pelletier?
Absolutely, sure.
First item on the agenda is escrow. We have 3 items. Item number 26-10, Keystone Dairy LLC.
Okay, the project is for the residences of Sky. The developer is Keystone Dairy. The escrow type is letter of credit. The address is 74 Rockingham Road. The request is to approve release number 1 in the amount of $789,674.64 and request a replacement letter of credit in the amount of $570,209.56.
Okay, any questions? If not, what is the board's pleasure?
Mr. Chair, seeing none, I make a motion to accept as you read it.
Second.
Moved by O'Connor, seconded by Malaby to approve the release and acceptance as presented. Mr. Mills.
Yes.
Mr. Wood.
Yes.
Mr. Minervini.
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor.
Yes.
Mr. Fishman.
Yes.
Mr. Churchiello.
Yes.
Mr. Appleton.
Yes.
Mr. Malaby.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Next item is item number 26-11, HCI Dairy.
Okay, the project name is Dairy Motor Fuel Outlet. This is for the common man. This is a performance bond. The project is located at 56 Crystal Avenue. The request is to establish letter of credit number 544 issued by Bangor Savings Bank in the amount of $8,395 for the above noted project. The expiration date will be March 10th of 2027.
Any questions? If not, what is the board's pleasure?
Mr. Chair, I motion to accept as read.
Second.
Moved by O'Connor, seconded by Malaby to accept the security as presented. Mr. Mills?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Minervini?
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Fishman?
Yes.
Mr. Churchiello?
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Appleton?
Yes.
Mr. Malaby?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. And the final item is number 26-12, again for HCI.
Okay, all of the project information remains the same. Since we just accepted the letter of credit, we now need to do a final release against performance bond 800-167-020 issued by Atlantic Specialty Insurance Company in the amount of $8,395. For the above noted project, the amount to retain is $0.
Okay, any questions? What is the board's pleasure?
Mr. Chair, I move the $8,395 as is.
Second.
Moved by O'Connor, seconded by Malaby to approve the release as presented. Mr. Mills?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Minervini?
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Fishman?
Yes.
Mr. Churchiello?
Yes.
Mr. Appleton?
Yes.
Mr. Malaby?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Next, we have before us the minutes of April 1st, 2026. Has everyone had a chance to review them, and are there any errors or omissions?
Mr. Chair, seeing nobody raise their hands, and so I move to accept the minutes as written.
Second.
Moved by O'Connor, seconded by Malaby to accept the minutes of April 1st, 2026 as written. Mr. Mills?
Abstain.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Minervini?
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Fishman?
Yes.
Mr. Churchiello?
Yes.
Mr. Appleton?
Yes.
Mr. Malaby?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. We now have correspondence.
I'm delighted to announce, Mr. Chair, that we have two pieces of correspondence today. The first is our quarterly change of use spreadsheet. These are businesses in the town which have changed use over the last couple of months, and I'm happy to announce we have over a dozen new businesses in town, so welcome to all the new businesses here in Derry. And the other piece of correspondence is an email to our planning director from James Veo, who is a principal planner at the Southern New Hampshire Planning Commission. And we on the planning board know James pretty well because he was instrumental helping with the Gateway Committee. He was here for our big visioning charrette and helped participate afterwards. But this is an email about the Housing Implementation Readiness Pilot Program. It's twofold. The first bit is thanking us for applying to participate in the program, and then the good news that we've been selected to participate as the pilot community, and it's about a kickoff meeting. And Ms. Planning Director, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but do you want to talk at all about the program and maybe fish for volunteers, if that's something that's needed?
So James and I did meet late last week. The bulk of the work will really be late June into early July into August. So we'll do a preliminary kickoff in May or beginning of June. Our next steps really are to kind of define the deliverables. So Southern New Hampshire Planning will get back to me with a scope of work and like a time and materials type thing. There's no cost to the town of Derry, so it will just kind of outline everything. What we will be looking for, bless you.
Bless you.
We need to kind of lay out the project and what it's going to look like. The request in the application to them had been that we wanted to look at 3 distinct areas in Derry that would be transferable to other communities, specifically looking at infrastructure where it's being expanded or will potentially expand within the next 5 to 10 years. And see what we have for development or redevelopment opportunities, and specifically to add housing in those areas. So we had presented them with 3 areas: Ryan's Hill, 102, and then also infill development in the downtown. So we're going to take a real hard look at that and see how that might be, applicable, or how we can create opportunities, especially for missing middle. We don't have enough of that in town. Nobody really does. So we'll look at different housing alternatives, even including cottage court, and see if that's something that we could come up with. Anything that is a deliverable from them, they may help us draft model ordinances. It is nothing that we are, because we're participating, anything that we come up with, if we come up with a model ordinance, we don't have to implement it, but it's available to us if we so choose. And then other communities can also look to those examples to help further developments in their own communities.
Awesome, thank you.
I guess this sort of comes under correspondence. I received an email this week from a gentleman named Desmond O'Shaughnessy, who was a PhD student looking for some research on historic Derry zoning ordinances. Did you happen to receive that as well?
I did not receive that.
If you think it's appropriate, I can forward to you. It came in on my town moderator address, so it's
Okay. I'd be happy to help him.
I assume it's legit. You might want to check it out first, but.
Will do. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Forward that to you after the meeting. Next item is other business. We have governmental use of property for parcel ID 05045, 28 South Main Street. SAU number 10, Derry Village School.
Okay, so the planning board is being asked to review the proposed relocation of the SAU number 10 offices to 28 South Main Street, which is the site of the Derry Village School, which is currently vacant. It does have some uses, but the school itself closed. The intent is for the offices to occupy a portion of the former school within a limited footprint. Minor interior renovations are planned with no exterior changes contemplated at this time. The SAU intends to utilize the time in between school sessions to complete the interior renovations so they can be relocated and settled in the building prior to the start of the next school year. This application falls under governmental use of property, applicable under RSA 674-54. As such, a copy of the proposed renovation plan was provided to the department heads for their comment and input. Highway, water, wastewater, and public works had no comment. The town administrator had no comment but did think it was a practical use for the property. Code enforcement had no immediate concerns and noted this is a similar permitted use from public education to public education administration. Police department had no concerns of note. Fire will provide code comments as appropriate during the permitting process, but they did have questions with regard to the potential use or growth of the site beyond current staffing or regular business use of the SAU offices. So they were wondering if there would be site rental of the multipurpose room and/or gym for outside groups, because the assembly occupancy would allow that room to have upwards of 850 people. I will note that I'm aware that the gym itself is being used by community groups for recreation, so that has been a continuing use even after the school closed. That was something that was occurring there. Jeremy can speak to that a little bit more. Fire also wanted to know if any of the classrooms or wings would be rented, which weren't shown on the conversion plan. The understanding is that that space will be used for storage, but they would be interested in knowing if there are any future plans to rent that space. Per the RSA, the planning board can elect to hold a public hearing regarding this change, at which point it would review conformance to existing regulations. As this project involves interior renovation only, and the use would actually be a decrease in intensity from the former school use, I would recommend administrative review as the level of review, which can be done this evening, and the board should discuss any concerns it might have with this change. So my recommendation is to review the attached executive summary prepared by Superintendent Michael Flynn in the proposed renovation plan, to request clarification about any potential plans for the remainder of the building, and then to forward a copy of the minutes of this meeting to the Derry Town Council and the Town Administrator. Jeremy Lamoth is here representing the SAU and can answer questions. And if you'd like to expand a little bit, Jeremy, on like what portions of the building that they'll be occupying, that would be helpful.
Sure.
Thanks.
So I think you guys have the plans as well in the board packet. You'll see that the wings on the side of the building are not part of that drawing because we're not going to be utilizing that. That's the portion that he spoke about that's just going to be storage. And at this time, there's no plans for those sections of the wings for rentals or for anything at this point. It's just status quo storage.
So I guess the fire department is interested in rental uses, and I suppose the reason they're concerned is not necessarily because of the change in occupant load, because the gym has continued to be used for public assembly events, and classrooms typically have 25, 30 students in them. I guess the change would be if it was rented for private use, there are going to be cars involved. So it's really a parking calculation. So any thoughts on, I assume that the gym, it's not a parking problem because people who attend events at the gym in the evening, they probably come in cars. But will there be rental of any of the classrooms or other spaces for private use?
No, not at this time. We're going to be taking up all the space that's on the print, which is essentially the middle of the building. And so far, the rentals have been, local sports teams, Derry Diamonds, whatever other recreational teams, but that hasn't been a huge issue with parking because it's not, it's mostly kids. We haven't had in our past, anything other than Derry Rec or something renting that space from us. So I don't I don't envision that. We are using one of our schools for Mary and Garish stuff over April vacation, but I don't know the amount of people that would entail. I think they want to use the gym as well, but they didn't give us a number, and I don't have the number of parking spaces off the top of my head, but they're scattered all around the building, so.
Okay, so that was my only comment, that the fire department may be interested in that, and maybe you should get some numbers to make them happy when they ask those questions.
And we've never done this, but I assume that we are going to keep that building, up to date as we would if it was a school anyways, right? We still have to have the life safety systems in place. We have to have all that stuff up to code. So that really won't change. And as they said in the report there, I think it's the occupancy limit there is 850. I don't see there ever being that many people in there. So.
Okay, any members of the board have questions? Mr. O'Connor?
For the director. On the RSA, it states that the planning board would write a non-binding written comments relative to conformity in or non-conformity. And then later on, looking through some of the documents, that the school was going to expend about $133,000 for some of the renovations over there. There's been no discussion about rentals. Is that something that's still in the back wings?
It's just the gym.
Really?
That would be a rental. Yeah, there wouldn't be any other space available to rent.
And do you know if that would meet code standards? I know the fire department still needs some work to do on it, so they put it off for later on, but for the rest of it, do you think it'll make code? And the reason why, I walked that building today, and it's just a question.
If I'm understanding it correctly, yes, because we have to do that every year ad nauseum, is inspect the schools. So I don't see there being an issue as far as what the fire department's concerns are, and being compliant. I mean, if I'm understanding it correctly, I think it would be the same as we always do, really, is what's happening.
All right, so Mr. Churchill, then Mr. Mills?
Thank you. I guess my question is going to be on the wings. We talked about those are not going to be used, or they'll be just used just for storage.
Yep.
My concern is do you have the fire sprinklers down those wings as well? Because, I mean, if someone was in the center building and you had a fire that started on the end, we want to make sure that that fire doesn't spread.
Absolutely. Yep. It's all one integral system.
Okay, so
that remains the same. It's sprinkled and there's
so
fire
heating
detection.
systems will work,
Yep.
water systems will work right through the wings?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
And there's also, we have fire doors that separate those wings that will remain closed and locked. So the public technically doesn't have access to those wings.
Okay, and one more quick question. You're using those wings for storage.
Yep, currently.
The school system will not be jobbing out or renting out storage space?
No.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yep. We don't want to be in that business.
Mr. Mills?
Yes, I've just got just one question regarding I noticed you're changing a number of, changing walls here and there and everything else.
Yep.
Constructions. Are these in current administrative space, or are you changing some of the classrooms into administrative space?
So we're utilizing the very front of the building, which was administrative space before, so that worked out perfect for us. There was, I don't know what it was back in the day before I worked there, but it's changed a few times, but we're gonna add a wall, and it's a very large room, larger than most of the classrooms, and we're going to make that a conference room. So that's one demising wall, and then the superintendent will also sit there in the front. The back of the school was kind of a different design because it was built in the 2000s, early 2000s, and it was for special services, so the rooms are not full classroom size, which is why we're going to take two of those spaces, remove a wall to make it a larger space, and then build an office out. We're going to take one room that was essentially a classroom, and the walls that we're building in there are to give that administrator privacy from their employees. So that'll be an office within that room, and then their assistants or whatever will sit in that room in cubes or.
Thank you.
So I'll just comment that because these are just friendly suggestions, non-binding comments, I don't have a problem with the line of questioning. I just remind folks that normally if this were a binding review, the planning board doesn't get to review building and code things. We only get to do site plan review stuff. So that's fine as friendly reminders and suggestions. Any other comments, questions? Anyone in the audience? Mr. Carden, have any comments? Okay. I guess we're done.
Okay. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Next item is our second reading of policies and procedures. And I was chatting with the members tonight as to whether we had really kind of closed off all the open issues last reading. Are there any new issues to come up and be resolved?
No, and mainly what we talked about last time were kind of, they were like, how do we want to handle certain things? So we can come up with kind of an SOP for those types of things. So we'll have it on hand and know, like, when this happens, this is how we do it. There were no suggestions received on specific changes to the document as it stands. So,
Yeah, as I recall, the discussions were the suggestions from it was the BEA legal counsel that wanted us to vote on waivers before we accepted the plan, and we decided that's probably a bad idea. But what we will do is you will alert us in your staff report if there's something big missing that we'll deal with before we even get to acceptance.
right.
With regard to regional impact, we decided we didn't need to take a second vote.
Nope.
Because no means no. And what was the other one? Oh, if there is a situation where there's potential question about how TRC comments were resolved when there was a TRC, that you would put notes in hard copy in the chair and vice chair
Yes.
folder, that we would give them back at the end of the evening. Yeah.
Yes.
Just so that we have them to refer to. Were there any other
No.
issues that came up?
No, those were the three, and I guess I wasn't clear, did you want all of that language incorporated? I thought that was just,
Well,
I may have
if we decide to
misunderstood.
do something, it's probably good to write it down.
Okay, so I can put that, all right, so I can put wording to those effects in the policy and procedures and bring that
then we
back
can
to you.
just do a final sanity check on that.
Yeah, okay.
That'd be good.
All right, so I will, so my fault, I misunderstood that. So I will make those amendments and bring them back to you for the May 6th reading. So we'll have a reading on it, and if there are no changes, we can vote on it the second meeting in May.
Okay. Planning director updates.
No, my big news was we got the grant, so.
Yeah,
that was it.
that's, all I have is that we have an alternate vacancy, and I would like to recruit somebody to apply for it so that we can have a full house, and you can join us with our fun here and help us out, help your town.
Yeah, I do have one other thing. We have extended an offer to someone for another summer intern. So we're hoping to have someone join us beginning in the end of May.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Any board member comments?
I am working on trying to recruit someone as to fill that alternate slot. So
Excellent, thank you.
Still cracking at it. He's not quite convinced yet, but I'll let you know.
All right, thank you, thank
Oh,
you.
but this is the fun board. Come on.
So,
I think so.
We're the board of yes.
We are
we're
the
happy.
yes board.
There's nothing further, Mr. Chairman. I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
It moved by Churchill, seconded by Malamby to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Stand adjourned.
Is that a record?